When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
No, you're not missing something. You know, we ran the ball well early in the season. We've been a little bit dinged up too. You know, certainly that factors in it. That factors into it, as well as, you know, Will Mallory, you know, he's been healthy. He should be healthy. Elijah Arroyo is a big part of the run game as well. And, you know, our running back, we just haven't been in sync in the run game. Okay, and that comes a little bit with us. We got to do with the run game what we did with the pass game. You know, we made it much more efficient. We certainly have invested time into it. It's starting to, there's spurts here and there where it's starting to look like it did early in the year, but not nearly as consistent. You know how much pride we take in that and doing it the right way. So we have to improve. You know, that's the bottom line.
The storm is brewing. The warning flag is up. It's time to get ready for Miami Hurricanes football. Welcome to The Edge Energy Drink Miami Hurricanes pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. Live from Walk On Sports Bistro in Kendall. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. When you're looking for the finest energy drink on the planet, you can only get it delivered to your home or office by going to myedgedrink.com. Use our code BIG-O and get 10% off an energy drink that's delicious, smooth, and has zero aftertaste. Here's your hosts, Orlando Alzugaray and Mike McCoy.
All righty, welcome aboard. Yes, sir. Time to rock and roll. Mike McCoy, Big O with you. We are ready for another week of Hurricanes football as they get ready to take on Duke. And in a game, you know, a couple weeks ago, Mikey, I told you that was it the North Carolina game that they were favored by a bunch of points? And I said that was a layup of a bet. Today, again, another layup. I don't know what Vegas is thinking. The Canes are favored by 10. The Canes have no business being favored by 10 practically over anybody when, you know, you struggled to beat Vautech last week. And this Duke team is not that bad. I saw that line, and I'm not betting it because I didn't do it last time because I just don't like betting against my favorite teams. And then I'm sitting there for 4 quarters or 3 periods, whatever, or 2 halves, whatever the sport I'm watching, and I'm rooting against. No, I want them to not win by this. No, dude, no. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope the Canes win by 45 points, and I hope Van Dyke throws for 600 yards, and I hope that Henry Parrish runs for 250 yards. I hope he has an Edgerrin James type game against UCLA.
Amen.
Remember that game, 299 yards?
I was watching.
Yeah. Well, that's I would like to see that, but all week I've watched that line and I'm like, what is Vegas thinking? Because this Duke team, this is not going to be an easy game today, dude. Not an easy game at all.
I've been well. First of all, good morning, Sean, Chad. Vegas must know something that we don't.
Mm-hmm.
You're more of the betting guy than I am. But the other part is this. Yes, I've been saying that all week. Said it on Tuesday on my show on Hurricanes Watch. This is not your dad's or your grandfather's Duke football team. It isn't. They are a well-coached football team, and they don't make mistakes, at least a quarterback. So we're going to get into this. But what popped out to me and what should have popped out to everybody else is the performance that he had last week. He ran for over 100. He threw for over 200, and he's like their leading rusher. Duke has, I think I counted 4. I have it right here. They have 1, 2, 4 guys over 200 yards rushing on the season, and one of them is their quarterback.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a tough game. And the other part that I think not many people remember or realize, do you remember that that tweet that Will Manzo tweeted out November of 2017 when Notre Dame came to town? Mike Elko was at center field of Miami Gardens on the 50-yard line. He was hyping up his guys.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He's the head coach,
right?
So he's going to have some added incentive to come in and kick Miami's ass. So this is not going to be a gimme at all.
They've lost their last 2 games by 3 points. So they play tough. They're a physical team. Elko was he's always been one of those guys that coaches up a tough-minded type of unit. And so today, that's why when I saw the 10-point spread, Duke is 4-3. They're 1-2 in the ACC. And, you look at the record and it's not that impressive, but they've lost, I think, by a total of 14 points in the last 2 games by 3. So this is a team that, they are going to be a tough nut to crack. And look, if it's something that we're kind of, we've all got to come to the realization. Look, Mario does not have the players he truly needs in order to be at the level of where the elite is right now. It's not just talent, but it's also the attitude and the commitment and all of that. And you're watching some of the young guys that he brought in. Those are the guys that are starting to really rise.
Right.
So it's really about trying to find more of those guys over the next year or two. And then I think we can start to be satisfied with the product on the field. But today, what I'd like to be satisfied with is the effort and the intelligence. You cannot have the amount of penalties that you had last week. That has to end, and that falls on the coaches and the players that they committed all those mistakes, right? It's all on film. You do it again this week, and that's an indictment on everybody else. And let me tell you, Mikey, you do that this week against this team, you probably will end up paying the price.
Another stat, well, not stat, but you were throwing out numbers just now. There are 2 former Miami coaches on the staff. And I'm talking about guys that were on the staff last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Coach Ish, who coached linebackers last year at Miami, or maybe the secondary. I can't remember. He's a secondaries coach now, or the cornerbacks coach at Duke. And the former defensive line coach, his name escapes me right now. He spent 1 season here under Richt and a couple seasons here under Manny. And in between, he was with the Falcons in the NFL. But he's over at Duke right now. So, there's a little bit of intel, a little bit of insight, how to beat guys one-on-one, or maybe some schematic stuff. Maybe. Obviously, Miami has a new staff. But you said it. The thing that I want to see is progression and consistency being built from what was good last week. The passing game, Colby Young, the D line has been playing very, very good good ball, evidenced by them getting to the quarterback over 40% of the time, which leads the nation with only 4 guys. So, that the fact that you don't have to blitz a 5th guy should be able to help the secondary. It hasn't. We'll see how that manifests in the next few hours. But yes, penalties, you can't do that this game. You did 17, 19 last game?
I think it was 18.
18?
Yeah.
And almost 2 football fields worth of yardage given away. Can't have that if you want to be a consistent team. And you can't have passing over 100 times, over 100 pass attempts in 2 games if you want to be a good football team, because that means you're not balanced. And, you could win games here and there, but getting to Charlotte in December, winning that game, if you are predictable and one-sided, kiss that goodbye. And, the sooner Miami gets back to being a balanced offensive football team, which is what Mario wants, which is what everybody wants, which is what Tyler wants. I'm sure he doesn't want to throw the ball 50 times. I'm sure he wants to have a reliable running game because that's going to make his life easier. The defense is doing
Don't be too sure those quarterbacks like to sling it, bro.
Yeah.
Marino was fine not handing it off. He wanted to just keep slinging that rock. Some of those guys, they just love to sling it, and not to interrupt you, but what you're doing, look, let's not kid ourselves, okay? You're not winning the ACC. You're not going to the playoffs. You're not winning a national title. You're not doing any of that. You're going to struggle if you can even win the Coastal, okay? And that doesn't look good either, all right? But what you're going to do from here on out is you need to establish a culture.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's all about for Mario in the first year. This is how we're going to do it, okay? We're going to go Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. So that's what's going to happen. This year, it's kind of laying the groundwork of how we're going to do it. And part of that, Mike, is, well, Mario didn't make any excuses for the penalties this past week.
Mm-mm.
He's like, no, you got to own it, and that's one thing I've loved so far about what he's doing. Zero excuses. Take accountability. That's what it's all about. You screwed up. Why did you screw up? Correct it. Well, part of a culture is that the same kind of bad things don't continue to happen. They may happen to you once, but you're going to correct them and then move on. So this is a nice test in that sense, that will you get better as a football team as the season goes on? And there were times, there have been several games already this year where you only committed a couple of penalties, a handful of penalties. Get back to doing that. Because if you don't turn over the ball and you don't commit a bunch of penalties, you're going to be in 90% of your games.
100%.
Unless you're so outmatched that the other team has so much more talent that you just can't hang with them. That can happen too. At this point where Miami is at, that could happen against the Clemson. That can happen against an elite team. But overall, against the Duke
and a Coastal, yeah,
you got to play. You got to try to win most of these games, and what you cannot do is give them away, Mike.
No, you can't give them away, because at that point, the possible slight advantage you had, you're taking that away. This is the second time in 2 weeks, in 2 games, that Miami is facing a top 10 rusher in the ACC. And they just so happen to be quarterbacks, which is hilarious. Drake May last week, well, right now entering this week, he's 8th in the conference in terms of rushing yardage. And Riley Leonard, the Duke quarterback, he's 6th, 420 yards on the ground, leading rusher on his team. So needless to say, Miami's defense is going to have to step up again. I feel like we're saying this week in and week out.
Yes.
Getting off the field on third downs is paramount. And if you don't do that, just like O said, the penalties and the self-inflicting stuff, you can drop that in that same bucket. That's you're setting yourself up for failure, because if you look great on first and second down and it's 3rd and 11, what the hell are you giving up 12 yards for? So Miami has that to do. There's some guys on the injury front that are going to be coming back, which is good to see. Tyreek Stevenson, one of them. And Miami, I know we're not into the keys of the game yet, but it kind of went that way with what you were saying. Getting off the field on third downs, to me, is number one. That time of possession, I think, going to be huge because keeping that Duke offense off the field. Listen to what we're saying. 2022, and we're talking about a Duke offense. Jesus Christ. But I think keeping them off the field can only help Miami. And the other part is establishing a run game, man. Like, it's been absent since the Texas A&M game.
I'm with you there. By the way, we're at Walk-Ons in Kendall, and I want to tell you that we got a lot of stuff going on here today at Walk-Ons in Kendall. Why? Well, first of all, we're going to be giving away prizes in every quarter. We're going to be giving away Caneswear gift cards. We thank Brett, Jeff, all the great people out there at Caneswear taking care of you and taking care of us. These are gift cards, so you can buy anything with a Canes logo: Dolphins, Marlins, Panthers, Heat, Inter Miami. But of course, if you want something Canes, they've got anything and everything with a logo on it. We'll be giving away Perdomo prize pack, which is this beautiful hat and this cigar lighter cutter. We'll be giving one away every quarter. All right? Look at that thing. Look at that thing, huh? Is that beautiful or what, baby? Yeah. So we'll be giving that away every quarter. And we'll be giving away a gift certificate from a prize pack from Walk-Ons. It's a gift certificate, a T-shirt, and a coolie. And Edge Energy Drink is going to be out here. The Edge Energy Drink lovely lady will be out here serving some drinks and giving some taste testing and all that good stuff. So we've got that going on. We got a lot of things going on. And I think there's going to be a beer here. I don't want to say exactly which one because I may be wrong, but I know that there's a beer company that's going to be also giving some taste testing out here at Walk-Ons, okay? So come on out. The menu is amazing. I pulled it up here. The Redfish Rudy is one of my favorite, what's it called? The meals here, which is a blackened redfish, warm tomato salsa, and Louisiana street corn. It is just absolute. I get the loaded mash with it. It is so good. But I know Sean last week had the fried pickle chips, which are awesome. We had the mozzarella logs. Everybody loved the mozzarella logs. The crocodile bites. I get that here all the time. It is absolutely awesome. Sandwiches. I had the turkey sandwich last week, which was just absolutely awesome. Their tacos, the Hawaiian pork, barbecue pulled pork with mango salsa, fried jalapeno, spicy mayo. It is just off the hook.
Hangover burger was awesome.
Yeah, you had that. That's right. You had the hangover burger. I know Al had the turkey burger last week. I'm telling you, the food here at Walk-Ons is amazing. So we're out here every game, every Hurricanes game out here at Walk-Ons, and we'll have all kinds of prizes every week and giveaways so we can hang out. You don't have to be out in the sun sweating it up, dude. You can be out here in a beautiful sports bar. The roof is about 30 feet tall. So, and there's TVs everywhere. The service is excellent, by the way, which I went to a restaurant yesterday with a friend and the service sucked. And so the service is excellent. The people are just fantastic. So you're going to love it. Joe, Yanira, they do a great job running this Walk-On. So my man John is going to be out here from Edge Energy Drink. So we're going to have a great time. And the giveaways don't stop. Our friends at Nature Bee, okay, go to Instagram. All right. This is a nice Instagram giveaway. Only Instagram, not any other social media platform. You got to go to Instagram, okay? You can follow them at NatureBNZ on Instagram, and we're giving away a prize pack that is worth over $100, all right, to 2 lucky followers. 1, you follow NatureBNZ on Instagram. 2, you tag a friend in that post, and you and that friend will be entered to win the prize pack. How about that? You put a family member. That way it's really 2 entries. You tell your family member, hey, I'm going to tag you here on your Instagram account, okay? You're going to be in. I'm going to be in. If you win, it's my prize pack. Okay, no problem. That kind of, you can rig it that way, man.
You could have a burner account.
Yeah, I mean, you can't give it to a friend like Flo because he's not going to share it with you. He's going to try to keep it, and take all the credit and all that because that's what Flo does. So you can't do that. You got to do it with a real friend, okay? Not a backstabber like Flo. And also use the hashtag Big O Radio Show. They're going to pick 2 winners in December, and you will win the prize pack. So again, follow NatureBNZ on Instagram, tag a friend in the post, and use the hashtag Big O Radio Show. Both of you will be entered into the drawing, and they will pick the winner in December. The winners in December. Good luck to you out there, and thanks to our friends at natureb.com. By the way, you can also order, get 2 months, get the 3rd month for free and free shipping. Use our code Big O, and you will do that, baby, right there. Ken Helm says Miami is going to blow the Blue Devils, the blue off these Devils. Yeah, Ken, I don't have the same kind of faith that you do, my man. Yeah,
wouldn't it be nice
and I'm not
see?
picking Syracuse over Clemson. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not. No. No, I'm not loaded up with a little My Edge and vodka, and I've gone through like half the bottle of vodka at this point. And yeah, Syracuse is a good decision right now. Yeah, of course. No, we're not doing that. So, kudos to Syracuse, Arande's kid. I'm only rooting for Syracuse nowadays because of Arande's kid, because who doesn't like Arande Gadsden? You know what I mean? It's like it's impossible not to love Arande Gadsden. So we're rooting for his son, and it's good, even though he should have been at the University of Miami. But hey, that's all right. That's all right. We still have time to kidnap him. Yeah, but Ken, I can't pick with my heart. I root with my heart, but I can't pick with my heart.
That game is going to be closer than the experts think, as Lee Corso would say.
What, the Syracuse run?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not picking Syracuse to win. You're not. Go ahead. Do it. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead,
give me to the end of the show. Give me to the end. Let me think about it.
By now, yeah, exactly. How many drinks you ordering by the end of the show? Oh, Lordy. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, what? Yeah, what's what he was saying, that it could be closer than what you expect. 14 points. Okay, I would take the 14 points. That's a lot of points for an undefeated team.
And it's
that
at Syracuse too, right?
It's
at Clemson?
Yeah, it's at Clemson.
It's a noon game?
Yes, it is.
It's a noon game.
It's a noon game. Yeah, doesn't matter to me if they're sauced up at night or noon. It's still Death Valley, bro. It's still Death Valley. Either way, it's a pain in the ass to play there and all that. I do want to go see a game there.
Oh man, I was thinking about this.
There's a whole bunch of those kind of places.
That Neyland Stadium last week, that's a bucket list item. The big house.
Not anymore.
Oh man,
not anymore.
See it last week
when they were good in a night game, okay, I can go there and go. But now that they're kind of weak sisters, I don't know.
Man, they're 3rd in the country right now. Tennessee.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about Virginia Tech.
No, Neyland Stadium.
Neyland Stadium, okay.
Neyland Stadium.
Which
Lane Stadium
Lane
is Virginia
Stadium.
Tech.
Okay, Neyland Lane. Okay.
And then of the Death Valleys, I'd pick LSU
definitely Tennessee.
over Clemson.
I would love. Although I'd have to take like earpieces or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That Rocky Top shit will be going for 4 hours.
God.
And that's just too much, bro.
Did you see what they did with the goalposts after the game?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they fined them, which I thought that was just unfair.
To buy new goalposts.
They fined them
$150,000.
Well, you saw. Well, you produced the show, so you know. But they fined them first $50,000 for the basketball event, and so every time they raise it, so this time it's $100,000. The next one's $250,000. So what I said was on the gridiron on Tuesday, I said, well, they're going to be sitting around going, all right, let's add a $3 charge to the ticket. We got 101,000 people. Let's add $3. That's $301,000. Yep. That'll give us a $60,000 profit after that $250,000 fine. And so that's what's going to end up happening.
Right.
I mean, just add $3. What's that going to stop somebody from going to a game?
No.
Exactly. No.
That's hilarious.
They did?
Yeah.
The school did
Yeah.
Tennessee did a GoFundMe. Right. Okay, so yeah, you guys got to replace it. Oh, okay, I got that. I got that. It's not Mickey Harrison crying luxury tax, right? That's what you're
No,
saying.
and they also did cool things like 100 or it was 1,116.79 because of the attendance.
Right.
So you could donate that. It was the final score, what was it? What was the final score?
Oh God, it was like a 1,000
Yeah,
points.
so it was like $49.47 you could donate because that was the final score. Like they did things like that as well on top of some of the things. So they got creative with it. I just thought it was funny that they made a GoFundMe page.
Okay, all right. I got that now. Now I get the gist behind the whole thing. As long as it doesn't come off cheap, which is what. As much as I love the Heat and Mickey, love you, brother, but don't ever cry poor to me, bro. Don't tell me about a luxury tax. That's I just can't hear billionaires cry poor.
Doesn't he own Carnival?
Yeah, and he doesn't pay any taxes on those boats.
Oh, wow.
Because none of them are registered in the United States. They're all registered in Panama or what's the other? It's Panama, Bahamas, right? I think it's Bahamas. Yeah, I believe it's the Bahamas. Yeah, I believe it's the Bahamas. So so you save all that money, dude. Don't. I just when you rich programs or rich owner, don't cry poor to me, bro. Please don't cry poor to me. You know what I mean? The rest of us are working stiffs and we're just trying to keep our heads above water, and how we're all living in a recession right now and all, and you're going to cry poor, dude? No, I'm not going for that. So, but I like that story. I didn't know that they created a GoFundMe page. I didn't follow it for that. That's actually pretty cool. But I'm not a fan of them getting fined.
Really?
Because they can't control that.
No, I mean
it's 101,000 people. There aren't enough security people to stop it. There aren't enough cops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, what are you going to do, bro? Half those people are liquored up. They're not thinking about fines, and they don't care about that. Well, I'm going out on the field. And plus, bro, the Vols have sucked. They lost all their juice for, I don't know what it's been since they fired Philip Fulmer. What was the year they fired? That might have been in the early 2000s, early 2000s.
Had to be.
Whenever it was that with T. Martin won.
That was 98.
So they fired him, I want to say 4 or 5 years later. So it must have been early 2000s. And
it was after Miami won in 2001 or 2000. It was after that.
Just after.
Yeah.
Just after. They fired Philip Fulmer, and they even brought him back as an AD.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, that was kind of like when the Redskins brought back Joe Gibbs. Like, oh, please save us, Joe. And he still made the playoffs 1 year.
Yeah.
Which is like amazing with Dan Snyder and that garbage unit.
1992 to 2008, Philip Fulmer was the head coach at Tennessee.
Wow. I didn't think it was that far.
Because that was the first time in 16 years Tennessee beat Alabama.
Yeah. So that makes sense. Makes sense, but they have been so off the radar for so long. So think about the emotion building up for those fans. It's like, it's like
if Miami wins something.
It's like Tim Tebow having sex for the first time, and he's like 35. And, he orgasms. He's probably going to knock the woman's head off. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, it's like been building up like a volcano. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what happened with the Vols. You got to expect those people to go crazy, dude.
An orgasm.
The day that Lolo Jones really has sex, I mean, that orgasm's going to be explosive. That man's going to drown.
You want to know what I wonder is if it's true? Remember AC Green for the Lakers? Remember his nickname
he was
the
another
Virgin?
One. Yeah.
That he wasn't going to have sex until he was married.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being in the NBA, an NBA player for the Lakers when they were good?
No.
And
can't imagine.
That's tough.
And you're living in LA.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You're not just the Lakers. You're living in LA, bro. I mean,
Tinseltown.
Where they're lined up for you when the game is done. So you can just pick and choose who you want to go home with. That is crazy stuff, man. So, yeah. So we shall see what happens today if the boys can get it done. All right, we got to the top of the hour here. Let's take a quick break. We're coming to you live from Walk-Ons here in Kendall on 162nd, right off of Kendall Drive. Come on by and say hi, folks. Don't forget, we've got all kinds of stuff going on. We've got game day vodka specials from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. today, starting at $5.50. We will have a Halloween contest out here. There's a happy hour out here. They've got all kinds of stuff going on. So come on out here and join us at Walk-Ons in Kendall. And of course, we've got indoor and outdoor seating. The service is fantastic. The staff is always happy. And the restaurant is impeccable, baby. And the best natural cheese logs made every day. Those mozzarella logs are so good, man. You got to try them. You're gonna love me once you try them. All right, give us 2 minutes. Give us a couple minutes here. We get ready. We start off the 11 o'clock hour. And by the way, in the 11 o'clock hour, Adam Lichtenstein is going to join us from the Sun Sentinel. We're also going to be joined by Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports. He will give us his picks. I also got to give you my Lenny Lockdown, LennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment, which I think you kind of already know what the pick is, but we'll do it again. We'll officially make that selection. We'll give you some of the scores locally last night. We will continue to preview the Hurricanes and Duke live from Walk-Ons in Kendall. The doors are opening up at 11 a.m. The game starts at 12:30. Remember, we're on immediately as the game ends with our post-game show. Manny Navarro, by the way, will be live from the locker room, so he'll give us his reaction on everything going on. And, of course, don't forget to hit the like button while you're watching on YouTube. And if you listen to the podcast later on, make sure you always hit the like button and share the link and tell the folks out there that they can get the objective Canes coverage that they're looking for and a comfortable place to watch it. Prizes, giveaways, all kinds of great stuff. Come on out here. We will continue in the 11 o'clock hour live from Walk-Ins in Kendall. You are watching and listening to the Edge Energy Drink Miami Hurricanes pregame show live from Walk-Ons in Kendall on the Sports Talk 305 Network.
You're listening to Miami Hurricanes coverage live from Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall on the Sports Talk 305 Network. This is the MyEdgeDrink.com Miami Hurricanes pregame show with Orlando Alzugaray and Mike McCoy.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
You're locked into the only platform truly dedicated to South Florida sports. This is the Edge Energy Drink Miami Hurricanes pregame show, live from Walk On Sports Bistro in Kendall on the SportsTalk305 Network. Here's your hosts, Orlando Alzugaray and Mike McCoy.
All righty, coming to you live from beautiful Walk-Ons in Kendall. Come on by. We'll be out here all afternoon dishing out the prizes, watching the game, having some delicious food, drinking some Edge energy drink. I mean, come on, man. No better place to hang out and watch the Canes than out here at Walk-Ons in Kendall. So come on out here, man. It's really easy. 9065 Southwest 162nd Avenue. We'll be out here for every Canes game. So let's go. Let's make it a tradition. Let's make it something that we're going to do every single Saturday that the Canes are in action, which is a beautiful thing. All right. Mike McCoy, of course, my partner in crime. We got Sean Stanley, the man that masters this entire platform every single day. Chad Shobe, of course, also helps out. Always appreciate Chad. The guy that I think Canes fans need to be appreciating more and more and more is Will Mallory, leading the team with 304 yards. I think the last couple of weeks, he has picked it up in a big-time way. I think he's kind of become that safety blanket for Tyler Van Dyke, Mike.
Which is what I expected, at least. I can't speak for everybody else, but let me tell you why I expected Mallory to be either the guy or one of the guys coming into the season. Number one, the offensive coordinator is a tight ends guy. That's number one, all right, first and foremost. Number two, he should have been producing like this for a long time, okay? When you have a guy 6'5", 240 plus that runs not like a gazelle, but he can run in the open field. Again, a guy that third in his high school, in his senior year during high school in the 110-meter hurdle at the state meet. All right, so he could move. And the only incomplete part of his game is he's inconsistent blocking, run blocking, pass blocking. So that's why he's split out wide a lot.
That's not out of the norm because I always have Omar Kelly freaking out on that shit with Gesicki. And I always try to, he makes it sound like every tight end in the NFL blocks and catches, which is a bunch of crap. There's only a couple of those guys actually that are good blockers and pass catchers. Those guys are so freaking special. You know what I mean? What's normal now is the guy that's a blocker and kind of a pass catcher. And then it's the other guy that's a pass catcher, not much of a blocker. It's kind of like the center in today's game.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to post up, not going to be super physical, not with his back to the basket. No, he wants to have his face to the basket, and he wants to shoot, and he wants to dribble like a guard. He reminds me of my girl dog Maiden. All right, my girl dog Maiden's about 70, 75 pounds. Beautiful, beautiful dog. She's a mix. But, I have two smaller dogs with us, right? She thinks she's a smaller dog. So the small dogs will climb on top of you and they'll do all kinds. So she thinks she weighs like 7 pounds. So she wants to be just like a small dog and she tries to jump on your lap. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're a mammoth human being and strong and you're about to knock me down, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what we got now. We got tight ends that want to be receivers. We got centers that want to be guards.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way it is. So let's not kill people just because they're not complete at this position when it's a position that we, as a society, as a coaching staff, as a game, we have allowed it to evolve into either or. Okay?
Yeah.
And if you can actually find the guy that can do both, oh my God.
Yeah, that's a plus. The added plus.
Yeah. Well, go find the center that can play with his back to the basket and his front to the basket. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Embiid and then what?
With his back to the basket. Even AD, I mean, he
can do it. Yeah. He can do it, but he's such a wuss and he breaks down that he really won't go down and be a post. I mean, he's always fought against being a center.
Yeah,
Now they're
exactly.
forcing him into like it
Yep.
because he doesn't like the physical play.
Somebody called him. I forgot where it was. I was listening.
But
They called
my
him.
point is there aren't a lot of those.
No, yeah. And even now, what I can say is what sucks is that since the scheme calls for it,
Right.
and he can't do it,
Gesicki.
That's the other thing.
Gesicki.
There you go.
Same thing.
Maybe that's his NFL comp.
You know what I mean? Right, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, some systems, they don't need you to block that much. That's fine. They'll put you out wide. They're not going to put you in line.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some systems like Cristobal, like Mike McDaniel, that they are a run-base offense.
Right.
It's not that they don't pass, is that they pass off of the run.
Right.
Because, and by the way, I am a true 100% believer in that philosophy. I love offenses that can punch you in the mouth because the easier they can punch you in the mouth, the much easier they can pass the ball. As long as you have a passer, of course.
Right.
But the passing will be there because you're sucking up linebackers. You're just changing the game. So I get it, but I just don't want to kill Mallory for something that he was recruited to a system that didn't need him to do that.
Right.
And now he happens to be in the like it's like Gesicki. I hate when they pick on Gesicki that way. It's like, well, dude, he's not that, so don't complain about that.
Right. Yeah. You knew that when you drafted him.
Right. You knew that he wasn't going to be a blocker. He wasn't supposed to be. That's not what it is in this system. And so there you go. And that's the problem that you had back then. You had a front office that went to get the talent, and then you had a coach that didn't want to, So it just won't be Tua on Sunday night that won't say hi to Flo. Trust me, Mike Gesicki will not be saying hi to Flo either. Okay. So, but going back to the point, Mallory, I love the fact that he has taken that mantle of being, the safety blanket of your quarterback.
Listen, it's his money year. 23 catches, 304 yards. 23 catches is tied for the team lead with Brashard Smith, which is crazy. Brashard Smith of all guys. Not to crap on Brashard, but I thought it would be somebody else. 304 yards leads the team, 0 touchdowns, and an average of 13.2. And I'm all for it. And you just want to look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So keep looking for the tight end. He's a mismatch, especially in the red zone, which they haven't targeted him many. They did throw a fade. They threw a fade to Kobe Young. What was it against?
Oh my God!
Against UNC.
Look at the body. We'll throw plenty of those to that kid.
So
Morning, Joe.
Mallory, like you said, is a guy. It's about time for him to be a go-to guy to live up to his receiving potential at the very least, and it's evidenced by the big games he's had the past couple weeks. The only thing you want him to clean up those drops, because he had a big one against UNC. He had a big one against A&M. He has big ones throughout his career, drops that is. And so keep finding him. If he's open, make plays, and you don't stop throwing to a guy just because he's dropping it. Just like they say in basketball, when you're in a shooting slump, you keep shooting to get out of the slump. And it's good to see Tyler Van Dyke with the confidence that he has in Will Mallory.
I can watch Chive TV all day long. I just want you to know. I'm just Mike's looking, and then one of the TVs here at Walk-Ons has a Chive TV on. Chive TV, right? It's just all those goofy films and people just screwing up and making mistakes, or actually accomplishing some incredible stuff too at the same time. Because sometimes it's not all screw ups. Sometimes it's funny stuff. Sometimes it's just great accomplishments. But I can kind of watch that Chive TV. That thing can keep me entertained for a while. There we go. John Rouse is in the house. How about that? John Rouse making an appearance. Look at that. One of the faithful on the platform. There we go. John Rouse making it. Hello. There we go. So John Rouse in the house. There you go. So come on out here, man. Join us at Walk-Ons in Kendall. They just opened about 11 minutes ago. Canes game will start at 12:30. We will give away prizes in every single quarter. So we'll have some fun. So come on out here and join us. You look at this game, Duke is 11th in the ACC in passing. Yeah. That's in the ACC. They're allowing 260 yards per game. They're allowing 313 against Power 5 teams. This is one of the things that when I look at this game, the run defense might be a little bit more of a challenge against them to run the ball. But passing, you will have an opportunity in this game. Their secondary, by the way, put it this way. Miami's secondary sucks, right? Okay, so they're starting two corners. Their top two corners have allowed 190 yards when targeted and 3 touchdowns. The Duke 4 corners that they rotate have been targeted and also 190 yards. The difference is 7 touchdowns.
It's a big difference. So
look how bad we are. Look how bad they are. So you got to do it today.
You just laid out the recipe, and it happened versus UNC where Gaddis was saying, look, it wasn't the game plan to come out and throw this much, but it kind of just happened that way. It was working, and we stuck with it. So that's what you want to see as a staff. You don't want to stick to your game plan just because it's your game plan, right? You ebbs and flows of the game, things change. So we may see something that is working, and it's going to stick with it again, and by the end of the day, Tyler Van Dyke may have thrown the ball 40-plus times, 45-plus times. Who knows? Henry Parrish has 378 yards on this season. He's a top 10 rusher in the ACC, but that was because of a hot start. And in the past 2-3 games, that run game has not been looking as promising. So, Thad Franklin has been a factor the past couple of weeks. Not as much. When I say factor, I mean his name has been called. On the season, he's had 194 rushing yards, and I think last game he only had like 20, if that. He does average 4.4 on the ground, but the other thing in terms of the rushing game is Ja'Cory Brown. We saw him 2 carries last week, about 20 yards. That could be an element surprise along the line that you're expecting him to run, and then, oh, by the way, he can throw the ball. So that's something to look out for that Canes fans should expect as well.
Yeah, and so passing will be an opportunity. Listen, offensively, even though, running, they might be slightly better. They have allowed 142 yards per game, but they allowed 180 against North Carolina A&T, Kansas, and G Tech. So they're 57th in the country in tackling. So you're even going to have chances to run the ball on this team. But obviously, the way that that Tyler Van Dyke's been throwing the ball, this is, I think, an opportunity. And listen, you want to also try to keep them off the field. So if you can control the time of possession, that would be good too.
That's what I'm saying. And you called last week a coaching game, okay?
Yes.
Because it was one of those games that's like, look, man, you got to win. And if you don't win, it's on the coaches. So this is not necessarily that, because this Duke team is much better than the Virginia Tech Hokies team that Miami beat last week. However, with the stats that you just mentioned, and the opportunity that there is to throw the ball and run the ball, listen, I'm an advocate just like you are, run to set up the pass, but sometimes you can pass to set up the run. Sometimes you can pass to set up the run.
Sure.
And so if that opportunity presents itself today, you got to take what's given to you, what the defense gives you.
Yep. No, I'm with you there. And that's why today they will have their opportunities, but at the same time, Duke will be a challenge because Miami isn't a great team.
No.
And Duke plays hard in every single game. This will be an ugly game. I just don't expect this to be a game where Miami all of a sudden dominates. And listen, the Canes are 15-4 in this series. They have won 6 of the last 8. And in the last 2 games, they won by a total of 95-10. So they have been winning comfortably. Problem is that in this game, the way the team is playing right now, the way Duke is playing right now, you can't necessarily go off the history and say, okay, this is going to be a walkthrough. Like my man Ken Helm expects a walk. I hope Ken is right. I hope I'm wrong. That's why I'm not betting it, but if only because I don't want to go against the Canes. But to me, Duke plus 10 is a layup. Today. But it just shows you, don't go by the history. The history shows that they have dominated Duke, and they should. But in this year, I don't know. I can't talk about this game like it's a domination game.
I'm trying to see what possibly could have made Vegas feel the way they do in terms of the line, you look at Duke's wins. They beat Temple 30-0. They beat a Northwestern team that wasn't as strong as they were maybe a year or two ago, 31-23. NCANT, 49-20. Virginia's terrible, 38-17. But you lost against Kansas.
Well, they're not bad either.
They're not bad.
They're not
bad.
like the Kansas that used to be Kansas.
They're not bad.
They're actually decent.
You lost to Georgia Tech, who looking better than most people expected at the beginning of the season, and you only lost by 3 against North Carolina. So maybe it's one of those things that they're beating who they're supposed to beat. Is Miami one of those teams they're supposed to beat? Vegas says no. I have no idea. I happen to think that Miami is not a team that they're supposed to beat. I think that Duke is a team that Miami is supposed to beat, all right? And so is most of the Coastal. Miami should have won against NC State. I'm sorry, against North Carolina last week.
Yep.
Well, 2 weeks ago. But, we all know how that transpired. Drive to probably win the game at the end of the game. You end up throwing an interception. First game that Tyler Van Dyke starts getting hot. But I think key to this game, ride the hot hand, whether that be pass or run defensively. And I hate that I'm beating a dead horse here. Get off the field on third downs, especially today, because having a running quarterback, that's going to be a pain on in your backside. Riley Leonard, again, top 10 rusher in the conference in terms of running the ball. He's a quarterback. Him and Malik Cunningham are the only two quarterbacks in the ACC rushing in the top 10. But Duke overall running, and I said this in the last segment, 4 players with over 250 rushing yards on the season. That's something that's going to challenge the defense.
Susan Miller Degnan says, I see wide receiver Jacoby George on the field in early warm-ups, unis. Cristobal said this week he might be back today, so you might see a little addition to the team. What do you think about that?
No, that's huge. I mean, you saw him in that Texas A&M game, how he made some guy fall almost by just, putting a move on him and going. He's one of those guys, give me the ball in the open field and watch me work. That's it. He was a guy that a lot of people expected to be a playmaker when he signed on the dotted line. Big-time playmaker in South Florida high school football. So that's a plus, okay? And we mentioned Will Mallory. The defense is going to be keen on him. So the addition of Jacoby George can only help. It's just a matter of protecting TVD to make sure he gets the ball out to him. Zion Nelson will not be playing. Justice Oluwaseun, the right guard, will not be playing from left to right, if my memory serves me right. You're going to have Campbell at the left. The right guard will be Jalen Rivers. Center will be Ja'Kai Clark. That right guard's probably going to be Logan Sakapulu, and then your right tackle, Deloney Scaife.
Okay. All right. Let's see if they can get it done. They need to turn it up today. They need to put together a hell of a game, and hopefully they can get a win, man. We will have Adam Lichtenstein also joining us. Let's see. I'm just talking to Adam now at the same time, too.
And Helm, you're right. Yeah, they're going to have to maintain gap integrity. My thing is this. Miami has faced plenty of mobile quarterbacks, obviously over their history, recent history, whatever. And a lot of people like to bring up the term, spy him. I don't necessarily like that because you're taking away a defender. You're taking away, and not to say that you said this, Kelm, but I'm just talking about what people generally say.
But if you have a special player, sometimes you have to key on. If it's a difference maker at quarterback as a runner, I understand the spying. Because remember, you're not counting for that guy normally on defense. You're trying to defend from him on his arm, and then you're leaving open his legs constantly. So it's just something that when you have a special player at that position, spying sometimes is a must, man.
I like it in spots like the zone defense is in the NBA. Use it in spots to kind of throw off, the offense. My thing is when you do have a guy that can run and throw, you're taking away a defender in the pass game. That's my only thing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But again, that's because you have to account for him.
Yeah.
Whereas, you're not accounting for Tyler Van Dyke.
Right. 100%.
You understand? 100%. So you don't have to cheat for him. But the North Carolina kid, you're going to have to cheat for him, unfortunately. Why? Because he can take off and get a first down and then keep the chains moving, and then you don't get off the damn field. And so the spy is needed sometimes.
Right. 100%. 100% needed. So Miami, in essence, is going to have the second time in 3 weeks that they face a similar quarterback, a guy that can run and throw, because Drake May, we mentioned it last segment, is a top 10 rusher in the conference as well. And he's probably, by the way, a top 3 passer in the nation, right? So when Miami played UNC, he was entering the game with just 1 interception. And that was 2 weeks ago. He finished that game with 3 interceptions on the season. Miami intercepted him twice. And I'm sure he's gone over the 20 touchdown mark in the season because he entered the Miami game with 19. So a similar quarterback that they're facing today in Riley Leonard. On the season, Riley Leonard has 1,557 passing yards, only 9 touchdowns, because evidenced by Duke's running game. And then he doesn't throw the ball away. He doesn't throw interceptions. 4 interceptions on the season. So I think the strength of this Duke team is clearly on the ground, which, like you mentioned earlier, is going to open up the pass game. So Miami's defense has to be on his toes. Kevin Steele's going to have his hands full, and it's about discipline. You cannot have 19 penalties this week. You have 19 penalties, this game's going to be over by halftime.
No, they have 19 penalties. You'll probably lose this game.
No doubt.
That's what will end up happening today. You'll probably lose the game because Duke is actually much better than Vatek. And this is the other thing. Let me tell you, you got to start fast because you allow them to hang around. You give 100%. Them confidence. They're on the road. This is not going to be a packed stadium today. So it's not like Miami is going to have an incredible home field advantage. They have not played like the kind of team that's going to pack stadiums. People are going to stay home instead and watch it. They're going to come to walk-ons instead. They're going to go and be in comfortable places to watch the game. Why? Because, the team is not great. So you're not going to get a crazed packed stadium. So all of a sudden you allow Duke to hang around. The crowd is not going to, go against them that much. You give them confidence, they hang around, and then they beat your ass, down the stretch. So you've got to be really responsible in this game. Can't give it away, can't have the penalties, and you got to start off fast and get a lead right away. Put them behind the 8 ball from the get-go. If you don't do that, I just think you open yourself up for a long day and possibly even a loss.
100% co-sign on everything that you said, but here's to add to that. How about finishing the game? Miami did start off nice and hot versus Virginia Tech last week on the road, their homecoming game, but they didn't finish. They scored 3 points in the second half, a field goal off the leg of Andy Borregales in the third quarter. They were shut out in the fourth quarter. The Miami defense didn't allow points until the fourth quarter. There were 2 touchdowns. So you got to find out how to close too, all right? Especially at home, coming off of a win, a nice road win. Starting a little 2-game win streak for the first time in the crystal ball era won't be a bad thing. And again, this is how you build. It'll be a step back if you had some success last week and then you're back to University of Southern Miss or Middle Tennessee State or UNC. That would suck. You got to build on what worked last week, and that's how you build consistency. And then next week, I don't even know who Miami plays. Maybe it's Virginia. I don't know who it is, but you keep going and you build on what worked this week. So the key of the game, or one of the keys of the game today, is finding consistency. Wherever you find it at, you got to find it.
Yep, I'm with you there, 100%. All right, do want to remind you, of course, that Sloman's Home Shield is a proud sponsor of our program. 1-800-ALARM-ME, folks. We're in 14 different states. So wherever you're watching, it might be a place where Sloman's can take care of you. Here, of course, in the state of Florida, they're here. Sean Stanley, myself, Sloman's protects our home. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800.
This is the Big O Show.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, he has no idea what happened there. The first 40 Big O listeners can get a free doorbell camera, folks. And you're going to love that doorbell camera because it just takes care of everything. Makes your life easy when people are delivering. Somebody's at the door, somebody you don't want to talk to. The other day, this place, it was like 2 months ago, actually, not the other day. It was like 2 months ago. I'm watching television and the doorbell rings. My dogs are going crazy. And I pull up my phone to see who's at the door. And it's somebody selling something. I'm like, yeah, I'll let the dogs bark their asses off and let that person leave. That's the beauty of the doorbell camera. You know exactly who's there. You want to talk to them? You can. You don't want to talk to them? Don't. You got food coming and you're driving home. You can actually, on the doorbell camera, once they pull up, you'll know they're there. You can say, hey, do me a favor, leave the food there. I'm there in a minute. And boom, your food's there right when you get home and you're ready to go. And folks, you will get a free doorbell camera when you use our professional installation and our low-cost central station monitoring. So you're getting an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery, and the safety and the comfort and the reliability that your family and your business deserves. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tell them that Big O sent you. You will get that free doorbell camera. 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Who needs a peephole nowadays?
Exactly. You don't need it, bro. Got a doorbell camera from Sloman's. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's take a break. 1 hour down. We got one more to go. When we come back, Adam Lichtenstein is going to join us from the South Florida Sun Sentinel. It is the Miami Hurricanes, the Edge Energy Drink, Miami Hurricanes pregame show live from Walk-Ons in Kendall.
You're listening to Miami Hurricanes coverage live from Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall on the Sports Talk 305 Network. This is the MyEdgeDrink.com Miami Hurricanes pregame show with Orlando Alzugaray and Mike McCoy.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Sloman's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
You're locked into the only platform truly dedicated to South Florida sports. This is the Edge Energy Drink Miami Hurricanes pregame show, live from Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall on the Sports Talk 305 Network. Here's your hosts, Orlando Alzugaray and Mike McCoy.
Mr. Adam Lichtenstein would be joining us out there at Hard Rock Stadium, getting ready for the kickoff at 12:30. Follow him on Twitter at AB Lichtenstein. Catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Adam, how you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Yeah, feeling good. Was running a little bit late this morning, but got to the press box just in time.
That's all right, dude. This is the thing, bro. When you move to South Florida, or you're born in South Florida, Cubans end up polluting you, and so we're late to everything. So this happens to everybody. It's our fault. That's all. It's just the culture we've created in South Florida. We're not on time to a damn thing. So you're
Well,
what?
being a
You're
sports
on
writer, you got to get
time
here
being
early. Yes,
you're on time being late. So you're good, bro. You're good.
exactly.
Don't worry about it. Actually, you were on target with us. Anyway, Adam, let's get into it. This is one of those games, dude, that I don't know what Vegas is thinking. They've got them favored by 10. This is a game that I would tell Canes fans, be concerned, be very concerned. This is not going to be an easy matchup. And if they win, it'll be, I think, an ugly win. But hey, a win is a win. It doesn't matter.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I do like Miami in this game. I did pick Miami, but like Tyler Van Dyke said earlier in the week, this is not your normal Duke team where they'll come in and Miami will walk over them and win by 4 touchdowns. It's going to be a tough game. Duke's a solid team, especially. I did an article earlier in the week. Their strength, their offensive line, matches up well with the Hurricane strength, their pass rush and their defensive line. So it's going to be a tough game. I ultimately do think Miami comes out with a win, but it's not going to be a blowout. This isn't a bad Duke team.
Hey, Adam. By the way, how's your fantasy season going?
I'm killing it. I am absolutely killing it. We have we get a little it's not like a big money league or anything. We get a little $5 rewards for highest points every week, and I've got that like 3 or 4 of the last 5 weeks. I think I've got it 4 times so far. So I'm killing it right now.
Adam, like myself, does not much homework before drafting, so you've had better luck than me because my non-homework self has resulted in a 1-3 or 1-4 record so far. But anyway, I want to talk about Riley Leonard because he, in many ways, resembles Drake May. Not so much the passer that Drake May is, one of the better quarterbacks in the nation, but in the fact that he's a dual threat. And so, just what your feel is on how maybe Miami might combat that in, I don't know, leading a spy around, or what you think the defense has to do along the defensive line since the O-line is Duke's strength. Just want to see your thoughts on that.
Yeah, like you said, Miami's had a couple issues here and there, letting quarterbacks get some scramble yardage, and that's kind of like, I think Kevin Steele said it earlier in the week, kind of like a victim of their own success. They do so well in the pass rush that they have to flush the quarterback out of the pocket, and he ends up scrambling for some yards. So, whether they have to, leave a spy on Leonard today, or just, be a step quicker in getting to the quarterback, they're going to have to figure that out because Leonard ran for 120, 130 yards last week against UNC. He can move. He can make things happen if plays break down. So they just have to be, good in their rush lanes. Keep an eye on him. Make sure if he does scramble or when he scrambles, because he will. Just that it's for 4 yards instead of 12 yards.
Right, and I mean Duke does have 4 players with over 250 yards on the season so far. Riley Leonard being one of those guys, and then the top 3 running backs. So Miami's going to have their hands full rush yardage, and I just think the key is getting off the field on 3rd downs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
I'm with you. Adam Lichtenstein, by the way, joining us here from the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at AB Lichtenstein and catch his work there at the Sun Sentinel. You look at this game, they're susceptible to the pass. They're susceptible to the run. You're going to have opportunities offensively in this game. How do you feel is the best way to attack this Duke team?
Well, I'm kind of 2 minds because Duke's numbers against the passing game are bad. Second worst in the conference in passing yards allowed. They've not done well against, quality passers. They can't stop the pass game very well. So, I'd kind of be inclined to say, let Tyler Van Dyke just kind of slant. He's been doing really well the last 2 weeks. I think his Pro Football Focus numbers from last week against Virginia Tech were some of the best of his career. He had a really good game last week. So I'd be tempted to just let him throw the ball around and just, if that's working, just let it ride. But I do really want to see Miami kind of pick things up in the running game. They've had a rough time the last couple weeks in there. And, obviously a Mario Cristobal team, a Josh Gaddis team, they're going to want to run the ball. So I think, it wouldn't be surprised if it gets a little frustrating at times where the passing game is working, but they keep going back to the run anyway to try to get that clicking as well. We'll see if Henry Paris plays this week. He didn't play last week. So if he's healthy and ready to go, then I would expect to see them maybe, if they keep him limited a little bit, try to get him kind of back in the groove, try to get him moving as they, kind of made their way and want to, make sure that things are clicking during ACC play.
You could talk about Will Mallory. We were talking about him in the last segment. So far a year that many have been, myself included, have been expecting of him for a while. And he's Miami's top receiver, tied for the team lead with receptions, the team leader in reception yards. Doesn't have a touchdown yet, and hopefully he can break that today. But, that's a guy, and if Jacoby George is able to come back, that can obviously boost the production in the pass game. But can you just talk about, Will Mallory's importance, how he's looked in practice this week, what you kind of got from coaches about Will Mallory throughout the week?
Yeah, something we've kind of heard throughout the year, and it's not just applicable to Will Mallory, is trust. Tyler Van Dyke, the quarterback in general, has to have trust in his receivers. And Tyler Van Dyke trusts Mallory. He's very talented, a good pass catcher. So if he's healthy and able to play, he's kind of that security blanket at a tight end. We've seen him, we've seen Tyler kind of this year when if there's stuff that's not open downfield, he'll rely on that security blanket, whether it's Xavier Restrepo or Will Mallory. When Xavier Restrepo went down, Will Mallory kind of stepped up a bit and he had some good games. And then, he was having a great game last week before he left the game with an injury. So if he's healthy and ready to play and, ready to go, that's a huge boon to Miami, especially because in addition to having Will Mallory step up, they've had some other guys, other wide receivers step up, Rashard Smith, Colby Young. So if they're all clicking and Mallory's healthy and good to go, then, you're going to start seeing this offense start doing less what they have to do and more what they want to do.
Adam, one of the things we talked about early in the pregame show was that, okay, you're not winning the Coastal. You're probably not winning the Coastal.
Probably.
You're certainly not winning the ACC. You're not going to be in the playoffs. You're not going to be in the national championship picture. So what you want to do if you're Mario Cristobal, and I'm sure that was the plan from the get-go, is establish the culture. And last week with all those penalties and everything that went on, I think that's part of what you need to establish from here on out. What style of play you're going to be, what kind of effort, and how smart you're going to play football from here on out. Because they've had games where you've had a handful of penalties, and those are the kind of games you want to keep trying to play because that's going to give you a chance to win. To me, this is kind of, last week I told Mikey there was kind of a coach's game last week. This week I kind of call this a culture game. That you gotta get back to trying to establish what kind of a football team you want to be, so that way everybody can fall in line with what you want to accomplish week in and week out. Fundamentally is what I mean.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with that. This is a game where, first, talking about penalties, they had 17 penalties, like 150 penalty yards last week, which is strange for them. Like if you look at their numbers from the rest of the year, they were like the least penalized team in the ACC. Like they hadn't been an issue. I think, it was a mix of a couple of things. They had some new guys on the offensive line, combined that with a, kind of a boisterous crowd at times. Like, you run into a few penalties and a few, kind of dumb mistakes, and combine that and you get 17 penalties. But I think, they probably, I'm sure, the players got an earful from Mario and the other coaches about that, in practice this week. I'm sure they heard it all week. I don't think it'll be as big of an issue. I think that might be, we'll see in about an hour, but I think that's probably going to be an outlier this season. But yeah, like you said, it's the game where you kind of establish the culture because, no matter how good Duke is a team Miami should beat, but you can't just walk over them. You have to be in the game. You can't be anxious. You can't be nervous because if you do that, Duke can take advantage of it. So, it is a good kind of test of where they're at kind of culture wise.
So part of culture is having consistency, and something that Miami's trying to work on as well, being a consistent team on both sides of the ball, and the coaches as well. So consistency on the O-line is a huge thing, but it's hard to have consistency if you have injuries. I know Jakai Clark is coming back, but on the right guard, Justice Ola was shown. So is it Logan Solopogo that's going to get the start?
Yeah. I'm sure he's going to get the start. He played, I think, if not the entire game, then basically the entire game against Virginia Tech. He's the guy they're going to go to at right guard. So, yeah, I think we'll see him, hopefully be a little more integrated into the line after, getting his first UM start. That now that he kind of got, if he had any jitters, those are gone. if he had any, communication or anything like that should hopefully be fixed, and see him, kind of come into his own a little bit more this week.
The only thing that was strange to me about maybe why he looked, off or not on his game is that he's not unfamiliar to the system. Oregon
Mm-hmm.
transfer, knows everything in terms of what to do at that position because you have his offensive line coach came from Oregon as well, and Alex Mirabal. So that's just something to look at. And I thought that it was strange. I don't know if you have some insight on that, or if there was something that maybe he revealed or the coaches revealed.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I don't recall the coaches saying anything. We didn't talk to Logan this week or anything. I just think it might just come down to you can practice all you want, you can be familiar with the system all you want, but you go on the road and you're making your first your first start. I think in his career, I don't think he ever started at Oregon off the top of my head. Make your first college start in front of 65,000 screaming Hokies, like it might throw you off your game a little bit. So we'll see how that goes this week. I don't think it's anything like you said. He played for Mirabal, he played for Mario. He should know the system already, but your first start of the season, kind of thrown into a bit of an injury and stuff. I could see have a few minor issues.
Adam, what's the story on recruits today? What's the atmosphere like? What kind of names do you know might be there today?
I haven't had a chance to look and see. I haven't had a chance to check in with any recruits this week, so I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'll have to check that out before the game kicks off. But I'll be interested to see how recruits this year. I mean, I'm very impressive by Mario to kind of keep everything together. No one's decommitted. They haven't had any issues with that recruiting class. So we'll hopefully see if Miami plays well today. The recruits kind of enjoy the environment, enjoy the experience, the full day. They're getting the full taste of college football in the fall in South Florida.
Let me ask you, a couple of the some of the new players that Mario has brought in, they are making an impact. Give me another name that could be on the cusp that Mario brought in that could be also starting to get opportunities. Who do you think?
You mean from the 2022 class?
Yeah.
Well, depends on how you consider him a new name or not. But I really like Jaleel Skinner to make a bigger impact as the season goes on. With Elijah Arroyo out for the year, he's kind of tight end number 2 behind Will Mallory. And if Will's not 100%, then he kind of becomes the number 1 pass catching tight end. So I expect to see him play a bigger and bigger role. He got good ability. He's a great pass catcher, and that's kind of where he's excelled. They got to work on his blocking a bit still, but he's a very talented guy in the passing game. So I expect to see him playing a bigger role. And then we'll also see Jafari Brown a bit. I think Mario had a lot of positive things to say about how he performed in the running game against Virginia Tech. He only had 2 chances. He would have had a third, but then they could play. It was a 4th down, and they got a false start, I think, and they scrapped that play. But he very nearly broke off a touchdown run against Virginia Tech. Had to settle for about 20 yards instead. But interested to see if they keep using him that way. If they let him throw the ball, if they want to keep him kind of on the sidelines and just keep him to 4 games to keep that red shirt.
Adam, I know you got to go in a little bit, but really quick, one key to the game offensively, one key to the game defensively in your eyes?
Offensively, I kind of touched on it earlier. Want to see, or actually it's going to be defensive. Want to see how the pass rush, holds up against the Duke offensive line. And then on the offensive side, I do want to see the running game. Like I said earlier, temptation might be there to let Tyler kind of sling it a bit, but do want to see if the running game steps up. They only had about 100 rushing yards or so last week, which they want to do better than that. So there were some little, little pieces of bright spot, that they could cling to. They did some stuff well in the running game last week. You want to see how that takes a step forward again this week, and see if Penny Parrish is back healthy.
All right, Adam, let's wrap it up. Prediction: what happens today? What's the score?
I think in our predictions, I think I said 28-20. I think I still kind of like that 28-20, 28-21, around there. Miami wins, and it might end up being closer than the game actually is. Maybe Duke gets a late touchdown or something, but I do like Miami in this game.
And by the way, Adam and myself, we are not financial advisors. So do your own homework, okay? So the line is 10. So obviously Adam and I think that they will not cover. So there you go. Those are our opinions. We're not telling you to bet the house. We're not telling you to bet the kids' college fund or anything like that. We're just telling you we're betting our houses. That's all we're doing. That's it. Adam, enjoy the game, my brother. Thank you for always taking time to join us on the platform. We really appreciate your insight.
Thanks for having me.
You got it. Thank you. Adam Lichtenstein, man. Follow him on Twitter at AB Lichtenstein. And, of course, subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Good stuff, as always, by Adam. Excellent addition to the Canes beat there, Adam Lichtenstein. Good stuff. So he feels like I do. You also feel like the Canes won't cover 10, right?
I think the possibility's there, man. And I think it's a big possibility just because of, you mentioned that big stat. Those corners are less than impressive.
Yeah, but so is Miami's.
They're worse.
I know, but they make other quarterbacks look better. You're really getting cocky today. So you're gonna lay the 10 and you're picking Syracuse.
I'm gonna give a score. I'm gonna say Miami 33, and I'm gonna give Duke 21.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
Oh, you want to also?
I feel like
the
Vegas.
Syracuse is going to also. What is it? No, I think that's like 13 and a half or something. 14. It's 14 now. Okay, that's a lot of points. So they're going to. So Syracuse is going to win.
No, I feel way more confident Miami beating Duke 10+ than than Syracuse even winning by 1. I'll take the points, but.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't
14's
think
a lot.
Syracuse will win.
14's a lot. And you are ballsy laying 10 with the Canes.
Homer. This week I'm doing it. This week I'm doing it.
Yeah.
This week I'm doing it.
Yeah, just give Sean the money. That's it. That's all. Why turn it into the people? Why pay the VIG? You know, you'll save the VIG with Sean. Right, Sean? You won't take the VIG. Right? That's it. So that's all you got to do. I would never lay the 10. I can't trust him, unfortunately. I cannot trust this team, and that's the only reason. By the way, just want to remind you, tomorrow night we're back on the platform at 6:20. We'll get you ready for the Sunday night game against the Steelers and the Dolphins at 8:20. We'll have the post-game show for you right after. Yeah, no, we will be on. We'll have the post-game show for you. I know it'll be a late one. Last night, unfortunately, locally, Tampa Bay defeated the Panthers 3-2 in overtime. Sunday, they take on the Islanders at 5 o'clock, and that'll be over, what is it, Florida Live Arena, right? That's what it's called. Yeah, FLA Live Arena. And then the Heat are 0-2.
Yeah, my Bulls got them.
And then the Celtics got them last night, 111-104. Tonight, they take on Toronto, so Kyle Lowry can continue his disappointing play. I know he scored 17, but it was like on 4 of 13 shooting or something. Anyway, so they take on Toronto. They lost to the Nets last night, 109-105. So tonight, we'll find out at 8 o'clock if the Heat start off the season 0-3.
Is that on the road?
No, it's home. It's home. Yeah. Yep. Not good. This is the first time in Spo's career he started off 0-2.
Not worried. Again, I'm not a Heat fan, but Heat fans shouldn't be worried. Spo legit.
No. I am worried about Kyle Lowry, but I'm not worried about the team.
Well, if he would lose 20 pounds, maybe he'd be okay.
You know, he lost weight. He'll never be in great shape because that's not who he is. But, you know, at least for $30 million, you better play great basketball, and you're not playing great basketball. He played all right yesterday. He wasn't bad yesterday. He wasn't like he was the other night. Still not good enough, but, well, I guess for, his disappointing self, I guess that was all right.
It's
what
just
can I tell you?
Crazy to me that for the second time in his career, he's not the best point guard on his team. Because he wasn't in Toronto. He wasn't when they won in 2019. I'm sorry.
Who was the best point guard then?
In Toronto?
Yeah.
Van Fleet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Van Fleet can play, man.
Yeah, he can. No, he can. You're right. He was
he
was definitely the better shooter too. Oh
100%. And then if you want to call Tyler Hero a combo guard, whatever, Gabe Vincent, I think he's a badass.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But he's a backup. He hasn't proven yet to be a full-time starter yet. Maybe
No.
he will down the line as he grows, but at the moment he hasn't shown that. All right, so we're getting you ready for Canes and Duke. That'll be at 12:30. We're out here at Walk-Ons in Kendall, so come on out here and join us. We'll be giving away all kinds of prizes every single quarter. Canes wear gift cards. We'll be giving that away. We'll be giving away a Perdomo prize pack just to kind of show you. We give the hat. And we give you a lighter and a cutter. We're going to give away one of these every quarter. So as you sit down and you order food and all that good stuff, they give you tickets, and those go into the raffle. And look at that, man. Look how beautiful that lighter and that cutter is. That thing is awesome. Anybody that's a cigar smoker will love having this. So we'll be giving away these, and we're going to be giving away Edge Energy Drink. We're going to have taste testing the lovely lady from Edge Energy Drink.
She's here already.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And also, we're going to have a beer company that's here. I don't know which beer company. They haven't told me yet. You know what we're going to do? We'll take a little break here at the top of the hour, and then I'll find out which is the beer company that's going to be here. I'll talk to Yanira and Joe. Great people. They run it out here. Joe does an excellent job. Look at John Rouse in the house. What is he sharing with you there? Hush puppy? Oh, okay. There you go. No, none for me. None for me. I can't have any right now. But I don't need till later on. Anyway, so we got all that coming up, and then tomorrow we'll get you ready for the Dolphins and the Steelers starting off at 6:20. So the platform never ever stops. All right. So keep it rocking as always. No, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you. John Rouse is always so kind, man. But thank you. How are the hush puppies? Good? Yeah. Their food here is just...
You can't miss.
I know.
No, you can't miss.
No, I know.
The only thing I haven't had is, do they have a dessert menu? That's the only thing I haven't tried.
They have desserts. They have... where is it? They have a Krispy Kreme bread pudding. They have milkshakes. They have warm cookie sundae, which is chocolate chip or white chocolate macadamia nuts.
Oh.
They have beignets, and they have berries and cream. Okay, so they've got all kinds of different... I got to tell you, man, the milkshakes, vanilla, chocolate, Oreo, or salted caramel pecan.
Oh, I'm having one of those.
Salted caramel pecan? So those are the different milkshakes that they have. Okay? There you go. Yeah, no. The food at Walk-Ons is awesome. I know, because I've been eating. They didn't have to be a sponsor of mine.
He lives right next door.
I've been sponsoring Walk-Ons for nearly 2 years since they've been open, because my wife and I order food from here all the freaking time. So when Al was able to bridge this relationship, I was like, really? The one right there by my house? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, all right. I'm here all the damn time. I love this place. So to me, this is kind of a win-win situation, because I'm only a mile away from here. Sean, he's got a short drive also.
And then, the part that you brought up previously, it's easily accessible. If you're on the west end of the county, you hit Chrome, you come here.
Or even Kendall Drive, and you get off on Kendall and the Turnpike. Yeah. On a Saturday morning, there's no
10
traffic,
minutes.
bro. Yeah. It's nothing. It's a cruise. So we encourage you all to come on out here and join us. And let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back for the top of the hour. We'll get ready for Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports. He'll have his picks. I'll have my picks after Lee. I'll give you my LennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment. We'll do that.
10+.
Yeah, we got all kinds of things to do. And, of course, the game will start at 12:30, and then the giveaways will start all afternoon out here at Walk-Ons with the great food. Give us a couple minutes here. We'll be back to talk to Lee Sterling in 2 minutes right here on the MyEdgeDrink.com Miami Hurricanes pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 Network.
You're listening to Miami Hurricanes coverage live from Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall on the Sports Talk 305 Network. This is the MyEdgeDrink.com Miami Hurricanes pregame show with Orlando Alzugaray and Mike McCoy.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Give your dog the same therapy that many veterinarians use today, but at a fraction of the cost. Pads are available in 3 sizes and come with attachment straps, clips, and an easy-to-use manual. Red Recover can help your dog with arthritic conditions, muscle soreness, intervertebral disc disease, ACL rehabilitation, performance, aging, and general health and happiness. You simply place the pad over the desired area and allow our proprietary Tri-Light therapeutic wrap to penetrate deep into the tissue where a number of healing parameters will be stimulated. When starting treatment, apply for 10 to 15 minutes daily and lessen the application time as needed for best results. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. You're locked into the only platform truly dedicated to South Florida sports. This is the Edge Energy Drink Miami Hurricanes pregame show, live from Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall on the Sports Talk 305 Network. Here's your hosts, Orlando Alzugaray and Mike McCoy.
All right, back here at Walk-Ons, baby, in Kendall. Come on out here and join us every week, every Canes game. We're out here at Walk-Ons for our pre- and post-game show. We got all kinds of giveaways. Perdomo cigars, Canes wearer gift certificates. Edge Energy Drink is out here. We got the lovely lady from Edge Energy Drink. She is out here. So you're not only going to want to try the drink, you're probably going to want to take a picture with her too, because she is gorgeous, man. So come on out here and join us. Lee Sterling is ready to go, as always, from Paramount Sports. On Twitter at Paramount Sports. The website is ParamountSports.com. Lee is always ready. You know, normally we bring him on a lot during our Dolphins pregame show, but, you know, that's a night game. So I figured we'll get Lee in. He'll give us a couple picks for college, a couple picks for the NFL. And by the way, Lee, good afternoon now officially. And I got to tell you, Vegas, I know they're smarter than all of us. They build those big, giant casinos. I get it. But I don't understand the Canes favored by 10 against Duke. I don't.
Makes no sense at all.
Zero.
I mean, this line should be 4, 5, maybe 6. I mean,
I agree.
With all the injuries. And let me tell you something. Mike Elko, when he took over this team, he must have first been thinking, oh, this is going to be a long, long rebuild. But he has 3 absolute studs on the offense. So Riley Leonard, the quarterback, sophomore, this kid can throw. This kid has a second and a third gear running the football. I mean, he'll take off and away from DBs. He is that dangerous. And then you get Terry Moore, true freshman running back. This kid, another kid that takes off. And then they have a receiver, a kid named Jalen Calhoun, number 5, that had 58 catches last year, stud receiver. When you get 3 studs, and I'm telling you, right now they have more studs than Miami has on offense. This is a dangerous team. They almost beat, in fact, they should have beaten North Carolina last week. So I'm worried about this game. Should never have been 10. I have a pretty large wager on Duke, plus the 10. And another crazy stat. Miami's the only Division I team that has not covered a spread against another Division I opponent.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. All right. So give us a couple of other games that pique your interest today as a investment.
LSU laying 1.5 at home against Ole Miss. Here's a stat that's crazy. Teams that are ranked facing unranked teams, and the unranked team is the favorite. Unranked team last decade, 10-8 against the spread. The last 20 years, 21-14. Pretty darn strong here. So Ole Miss is ranked 7th, and I like their running game, but Jackson Dart, not all in on him as a quarterback. He has a propensity to throw interceptions. And then their defense also showing some cracks. They gave up 28 to Vanderbilt, 34 to Auburn. The week before even that, 3 weeks ago, they played Kentucky, gave up 19, but totally misleading. Kentucky absolutely short-circuited in the red zone. And then on top of that, missed 2 field goals and an extra point. They should have scored over 30 points here. Lane Kiffin kind of showed his hand last week. He was praising the defense after Kentucky, but when they went up by 1 score last week, he did a onside kick in the third quarter. Just, I think, to steal a possession to keep his defense off the field here. LSU, Brian Kelly could have lost that team after the loss to Florida State. So the reason he's getting paid the big bucks is he reeled the team back in. I think they win the game 35-28.
All right. What else do you like? Also,
Syracuse playing Clemson. So the line is now 14.5. I liked it at 13.5. At 14.5. Love it. Why is Syracuse better this year? Defense is improved. I know they haven't played anyone, but they are ranked 8th. But they getting some quarterback play. Garrett Schrader before was just a runner. Last year, only 9 touchdowns all year. This year, already 12, midway point. And he has a red zone guy that can catch the ball and get in the end zone. Aronde Gadsden II doing a great job here. They're also 18-10 against the spread on the road at Syracuse. I think Clemson wins something like 30-23, but I'll take the 14.5 in Syracuse.
Okay, I like that. All right, let's move over to the NFL, my friend. Yeah. Plenty of interesting games tomorrow on the slate. Give us a couple you're interested in there at Paramount Sports.
So I like Kansas City. The lines come down now. It's 1.5. Everyone's all excited. You know, Christian McCaffrey's joining San Francisco. All well and great, but he's only going to play 10, 15 plays. I mean, they're going to have to tell him what to do every play. You can't learn a system that quick.
Are you sure he'll survive 10 or 15 plays? You sure he's not going to get injured?
Yeah. Don't jinx my guy. Don't jinx my guy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's about 15 plays.
Bosa, Garoppolo, and McCaffrey are going to just take turns going to the IR? Is that what's going to happen there in San Francisco?
Probably.
Right.
Probably.
I'm sorry.
But, hey, for them, Garoppolo is better than Trey Lance right now. I mean, far better.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Maybe, big maybe down the road he'll do something. But you have to have defensive linemen to play Kansas City. Now, Buffalo, in the game last week, and that was one of my big plays, they ran out of gas, their defensive line, late third, early fourth. Watch the tape. Couldn't get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. If they go almost too deep, what is San Francisco going to do? I mean, they might be without Bosa, a couple other key starters. They were down 7 defensive starters at the end of the game last week. They'll be missing 4 or 5 at least. So they're depleted on the offensive line, defensive line. I mean, it's just I think they're in a tough spot here. I like Kansas City. I think they win the game something like 34-20.
How dumb was that trade, by the way? That was way too much they gave up. Way too much. For the most interchangeable. Look, I know philosophically, schematically, it makes all the sense in the world because he's so dynamic. I get all of that, but all those picks for a guy that's not durable, oh, God.
The only thing is they'll be at the end of the second, third, and fourth round, those picks. And a lot of teams don't hit on picks. They could have gotten maybe nothing. We'll see. When he's in, he's great. But like you said, he's just not durable. So, problem is just probably wants to spend too much time with his girlfriend. Seen the girlfriend, the model girlfriend?
Yeah, no, I'd spend a lot of time with her too. I mean, what is it, Olivia Cupo or whatever? Is that right? Right? Yeah. No, she's a smoke show. I know.
Yeah, you know who dates the sister? Braxton Berrios.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Wow. Braxton. Yeah. But Braxton is thriving. He's not getting hurt. So,
Right. That's the thing with Christian. He plays a contact position. Maybe in some other, with Tua, the key for him has been, get rid of the ball. Stop hanging onto the ball, and you won't get that injured. But in McCaffrey's case, you can't avoid it. You play running back. It's brutal, dude.
So, also like Dallas.
Okay.
I think Detroit is a mess defensively.
God.
People are talking about Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush was just there. They had to change the whole game plan when he was in there with Dak. You're going to see CeeDee Lamb get more involved in the offense. Those two guys had the back. Even Ezekiel Elliott, who looked like he was on a downward slope. He looked like he was playing at his highest level in almost 2 years last week against Philadelphia in that loss. But Detroit is a disaster on defense, and Goff will probably turn the ball over 3 or 4 times against Dallas. Lay the 7 there. I think they win the game something like 41-17, 41-20.
All right, I'm with you there. And if folks want to get in contact with you at Paramount Sports, Lee, what do they got to do, my friend?
So we've won 8 out of 10 weeks in the football. Hit our 2 biggest plays last week. On our 40 to 50 unit plays, going back 12 years, we're 53-18, documented. You can look on the website. I list every game I give my clients the last 5 years. We have what's called the Baker's Dozen. Total of 13 games today and tomorrow, just $97. Or how about this? In the NFL, 5 for 55. As soon as you purchase it, a window pops open with all 5 or all 13 games. We've not had a losing Sunday this year. So 5-0, 4-1, or 3-2 every week. Check out the website, ParamountSports.com.
Are you guys still smoking it in hockey? Because you were like on fire last year.
We cooled down. Actually, we had a 1-2 day yesterday. So I actually had a losing day yesterday. We're still 15-8, not bad, but 15-8 is great.
Yes, I was about to say 15-8 is pretty
basketball.
damn good.
We started off basketball 4-2. So we got to make money.
You're much better than the Heat right now, huh? You're doing a lot better than the Heat.
Heat's in trouble.
Yeah.
This might be a 500 team at best.
Yeah. They and that Lowry move, that Lowry contract is not looking good. I know he played a little better last night, but still shot a poor percentage overall. That contract, man. God,
I think that hero contract is going to be.
But
he's playing great, but
Kyler can score. He just can't play defense at all.
It's going to cripple the team, man.
Right, yeah, but he can score. Lowry's not really much of a defender anymore, and he's really not a scorer. So that's I don't know, that $30 million a year, that to me is a terrible contract.
We got to get Phoenix
contract.
Phoenix, I think they're trying to wait out Phoenix. Phoenix eventually is going to do something with Jai Crowder. Crowder has not even shown up. I think they eventually buy him out. They're hoping someone pays something for him, but I think the Heat is his most probable destination. We need him bad.
Yeah. Jay Crowder would definitely help out on the power forward spot, and definitely defensively he would help out and add a little bit of threes too every once in a while whenever he's on. All right, good stuff there as always. Remember, you can follow them on Twitter at Paramount Sports. Go to the website, Paramount Sports, and sign up. What deal you got going on? Say it again.
Like I said, the Baker's Dozen, 13 games today and tomorrow, just $97. 5 for 55 in the NFL. I mean, I got guys that bet the NFL and they want to sign up for the next week already. I'm like, wait until like Thursday or Friday morning when I got the games. So
I like it. I like it. There you go. Lee, as always, thank you, my brother. And may you win a ton this weekend, my friend. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. There you go. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. Always appreciate Lee joining us. Cutter's Edge, proud sponsor of our program. Let me tell you something. You want to change your home. Landscaping. It just changes your home. And let me tell you, if you have a backyard, when you actually really dress it up the right way, maybe you're not enjoying your backyard like you would like. Well, let me tell you, now we have changed our entire backyard thanks to the great folks at Cutter's Edge. I got a little putting green. I can work on the short game. We've got what are those things called when those bags you throw onto the cornhole?
Yeah.
We got some of that. Got the artificial turf now for the dogs so they can hang out, and the artificial turf is the greatest thing if you have dogs because they bring no dirt, no nothing in. They're not eating any grass. Sometimes dogs have a tendency to pick on the grass a little bit or something like that. And then when it's raining, it gets muddy and all that, and they're bringing all that in. Easy to maintain, and it saves you money. You know why? You're not watering the lawn and you're not cutting grass. So you're saving money in the long run. That's what it's all about. Call the great people at Cutter's Edge Pro. From lighting to irrigation, they do it all, man. Front yard, backyard. Listen, you pay mortgage or rent for that entire property. If you're not enjoying the entire property, then you're cheating yourself. Now we are hanging out outside like crazy. You know you're making your house more of an oasis because a lot of people are staying home more often than not. Streets aren't as safe as they used to be, right? Well, this is why you want to call the great people at Cutter's Edge Pro. Plus, when you improve your home when it comes to landscaping, the value of your home also skyrockets. That's another reason why you want to call the great people at CuttersEdgePro.com and tell them that Big O sent you. Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties, CuttersEdgePro.com. All right.
Couple updates that beat writers at the stadium have been tweeting out.
Yes, sir.
So Tyreek Stevenson is playing. He's available. Manny Navarro tweeted about Michael Redding being in uniform. That's great because that's another receiver that Miami was down last week that seems to be getting reps in the lineup this week.
And another wasn't that the guy that Adam thought would start being more of a
yes. So. And that's a guy that like Will Mallory, and at the same time not like Will Mallory because you've been getting at least some production from Will Mallory.
A lot of
production. But Michael Redding is a guy out of IMG that everybody wanted. Physically talented guy. One of those guys that wins the 50-50 ball, which is I'm like, hey, throw it to him in the red zone on a fade. That guy can win some matchups one-on-one. But the other one is in the offensive line. And I think it was, thanks for this, Ken, Susan Miller Degnan tweeted, or was it Susan? It was Susan, it was either Susan or Manny that Lawrence Seymour, local product out of Miami Central Senior High School, is taking first-team reps in pregame warmups over at right guard. So that's something to keep an eye on because that's a guy that's green and wet behind the ears. So take a look at the right side of the offensive line throughout the game, especially if Lawrence Seymour gets a start, or even if Logan Socapolo gets a start. Just keep an eye out on that right side of the line, period.
Don't forget, folks, that we are out here at Walk-Ons in Kendall. If you want a place to come on out and watch the games, we'll be giving away prizes at the end of every single quarter. And tomorrow we'll be on at 6:20 to get you ready for the Dolphins and the Steelers at 8:20. And we'll have the post-game show, of course, here at Walk-Ons. We'll be back immediately as the game ends with our post-game show. And we've got game day vodka specials going on, $5.50 from noon to 9 p.m. Going on today. So the vodka specials already started. My man Kevin Brockway, by the way, who's on with us at the Gridiron every week. He's at the stadium today watching the Duke game because Gators are off today. So he's sending me some. Yeah, that's his vacation, coming down here and hanging out in South Florida. He should have come over here and hang out with us.
Yeah.
That's what he should be doing here at Walk-Ons. The other thing we like to do is our ALennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment. We like to give you our picks. We're 43, 35, and 3. Our last picks, we gave you 2 NBA picks. We went 1-1. We took the Sixers -4. Unfortunately, they did not cover. In fact, the Bucks won that game. And then we took the Clippers -5.5. They won by 6. So we ended up 1-1. So we are now 43, 35, and 3 against the number. Still 8 games over 500, but we got to do better than that. So let's go. Let's go with our ALennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment.
Time to lock it down. The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Services in South Florida from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, ALennyLocksmith.com locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Here's the Big O to tell you what needs to be locked down.
Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, even out in Port St. Lucie, baby. 561-284-5090. Call Lenny Locksmith. You get locked out of your car, locked out of your home. 561-284-5090. They also program your car keys, too. Our lockdown segment, well, Canes are favored by 10 today. Over and unders 59. Duke is plus 300 on the money line. The Canes are minus 365 on the money line. There is no way I would bet on that, even though I do feel that the Canes will win this game, but I just feel it's going to be a tight one. I cannot trust this team to go out there and blow the doors off of almost anybody. And Duke has lost their 3 games by combined 14 points. They've lost their last 2 games by 3 points each. I just don't know. This is the MyEdgeDrink.com Miami Hurricanes report, and or pregame show, and I don't think they have the edge that you need in order to win this bet. So I'm going to go Duke plus 10. If you want that edge, that's what you got to go with. Duke plus 10 in this game. I think I'm pretty sure UM will win, but I think they'll win a tight one here. Our ALennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment. Give me Duke plus 10.
The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming. All model cars. 24-hour service. Call them anywhere in South Florida at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at ALennyLocksmith.com where we lock it down.
We're going to be out here. We got Edge Energy Drink. We're giving you the taste test. You can also mix it with your favorite liquor, like a little vodka. I love a little Grey Goose and a little Edge. And by the way, go to myedgedrink.com. Use our code Big O. You will get 10% off. You can order it anywhere. Can't get it in a store. You got to get it online. Go to myedgedrink.com. You're going to love it. Once you try it, you know what you're going to do? It's going to be your game day go-to elixir. So when the Canes, or tomorrow when the Dolphins, or Monday night or Thursday night, you're going to go, oh, you know what? I'm going to get a little Edge and my favorite vodka, and I'm going to mix it in, and you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. 78 calories. That's a joke. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. And when I tell you zero aftertaste, I mean it. Zero aftertaste. Okay? So go to myedgedrink.com, use our code Big O, and get 10% off Edge Energy Drink. There you go.
I'm going to try that before the gym.
You'll try it now. You can try it now. We'll get you a can now in a minute here when we get off the air in about 9 minutes. 5-star commitment, yes. Francis Malguoa is in attendance, says Ken Helm. I saw that Manny Navarro tweeted that out, that Francis is in there.
He's been to a couple games. This is not his first one. It's not his first go around. He's Bradenton guy, IMG, so that's right up the road. So I think he's been to all the home games so far this season.
I walked up to him and he says, the name is Psycho.
Oh.
Don't call me Francis.
Oh.
Or I'll kill you.
Oh.
That's
Psycho.
what he said to me. I don't know.
That's Psycho.
Yeah, he's right now Mike McCoy has no idea what I'm talking about.
Talking about Francis, right?
Yeah, that's a line from Stripes.
Oh,
I movie.
It went over my head.
Yes,
yeah.
It's a Bill Murray movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a funny scene early on. You've never watched Stripes?
I've only watched maybe 2 Bill Murray movies, and they were both Ghostbusters.
Oh, you need to watch Stripes. You've got to watch Stripes.
Okay.
It's
I'm
hilarious.
taking word for it.
It's hilarious. It's funny.
Okay.
It's funny stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow's my birthday, so I'll do that.
Well, tomorrow's your birthday. Wow, happy
sir.
birthday. There you go. Watch
Thank
a little Stripes, and when you see the Francis scene, you're gonna laugh a lot because you're gonna go, oh, okay, now I get it. So there you go. But yeah, I don't know how many other recruits. I know Adam was gonna try to find out. By the way, Gabby will be back with us, but he just had a baby.
Congrats, man.
Yes, and congrats to Gabby. Well, one of the things that they do nowadays is that they take off several weeks when they have kids. Something that never happened in my day. I think I took off half a day or one day or something, and then I was back at work the next day. You know what I mean? But nowadays they have all that, what's that called?
It's no maternity leave. They have paternity leave.
Yeah,
which is cool.
for the guy. So, which makes no sense, by the way. I there's a part of me that just can't, I listen, if your wife and you have nobody else to help you out and your wife just had a kid, then yeah, you got to help out. You know what I mean? I was fortunate. I had the mother-in-law, all that stuff. So I was basically told, get away from us.
Wow.
We don't need your help,
Wow.
which is true because I'm a goofball. What am I going to do? I'm going to drop the kid or something? No, it's all right. So, I kind of understood that. And listen, I'd rather the ladies kind of handle that early on because that package is kind of sensitive.
I was
Every time I had to
scared.
carry my daughter, I was
Yeah.
crapping bricks, bro.
Yeah.
Because when she's so tiny like that, you're like,
Mhm.
oh my God, I don't want to hurt her. I want to make sure she's fine.
Yep.
So I remember bringing her home and she was like a burrito, bro. She was wrapped up in a burrito and fit in my forearm.
Exactly.
And I see her now at 22 and it's like, what the hell, bro? What the hell? It's like,
you're a full-grown adult or a woman.
Holy crap. That is gone all over. Sean, you got the Canes winning today, and do you have it -10 also? Are you laying the 10 here? Are you being as brave as our boy here, Mike McCoy?
I have the Canes by 3 touchdowns
Look
today.
at that.
31-10.
31-10.
I love it. I love it.
31-10. Man.
I love it as Sean cracks up in the background.
Oh, I love that.
Miami's due for a game like that, man. Miami's due for a game like that, whether it's versus a team that they're supposed to or a team that maybe people don't expect. They're due for a game like that because, look, again, you're looking for just kind of continuing and having consistency and building on what you did last week, which was success in the pass game and the defensive line being plus. So Tyreek Stevenson, Mike Redding, you have one change to the O-line, and hopefully Henry Parrish and Rooster can do their thing. But listen, I think this is a defensive game. I think this is, when I mean defensive, I mean the defense needs to dominate in order for me to win because you have to get off the field on third downs. And I say that every week. I hate that I say it every week. Why do I say every week? Because Miami's not been good at getting off the field on third downs. So I say that every week. And getting off the field on third downs and getting to the quarterback, they've been awesome at with 4 guys. Again, tops in the nation in that category with over 40% getting to the quarterback without a 5th guy, without a blitzer. So that's got to help the secondary. It hasn't much. I don't understand how it hasn't. Thank you, Sean. But getting off the field on third downs. Defense has got to win. Tyler's got to keep going, and I think he will, because that stat that you gave of the Duke cornerbacks being not so productive and making the Miami cornerbacks look very productive, I think that's huge, man. And of course, getting out early. But getting out early goes along with finishing. Miami didn't finish. Miami started early last week, did a great job. 3 points in the second half. Can't do that against a team with a quarterback with a dual threat.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Today you got to play smart, man. You got to play smart. I think today Miami is going to end up winning the game. I think it's going to be a 27-24 game.
I hate that, but I'll take it.
Okay, I think it's going to be kind of a back and forth, ugly type of game, tight game. I'm going to give Duke some respect.
Okay.
Because they have played teams tough.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that they're going, and I just don't see the Canes aren't the kind of team that I can feel confident that they can blow teams out. And they're not there at the point yet that they're so much better than everybody else or anything like that. That's going to take a while, and it's not going to happen this season. So I'm gonna go simply out of respect from what I've seen from Duke this year, and I'm going to say Canes win. Canes definitely are going to win. I feel good about them winning, but I just think they're going to end up winning a close one today, 27-24. Zachary Gibbons on the chat board. His prediction is 31-10. So he's got a big win like Sean Stanley today going out there. Iowa's beating Ohio State right now. Yeah, but it's early. Yeah, I know, but it's you know how many times that happens, that early on there's a team that surprising Alabama, surprising Ohio State, and then eventually that team stops surprising and reality sets in.
Well, the funny part for Iowa is they score a touchdown. The funnier part is it was the defense. The offense still can't score, but the defense is scoring the touchdowns for Iowa now.
Okay. Well, you can post your score there if you want on the chat board to have a little fun with it as we look to wrap it up here at Walk-Ons in Kendall. And remember, every Canes game, we're out here pre- and post-game show, giveaways, all kinds of stuff. So come on out and join us, man, out here at Walk-Ons in Kendall, 9065 Southwest 167th Avenue. We're going to be back for the post-game show the second the game ends. Mike, myself, Sean Stanley will be back, and we'll have Mario Cristobal's press conference. We'll have Manny Navarro live from the locker room and his response from everything going on. So we'll get the latest there. We'll have you covered, as we always do here on the platform. We'll see you at the end of this game right here, live from Walk-Ons. This has been your MyEdgeDrink.com Miami Hurricanes pregame show, live from Walk-Ons in Kendall on the Sports Talk 305 Network.
This has been the Edge Energy Drink Miami Hurricanes pregame show, live from Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall on the Sports Talk 305 Network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. Visit Walk-On Sports Bistro in Kendall at 9065 Southwest 162nd Avenue. Enjoy Walk-On's authentic and mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh from scratch. Closes daily at midnight, 7 days a week. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy Hurricanes football.